Hello everyone, today in this video I am going to deal with the second chapter of Moments of class 9th. The chapter is The Adventures of Toto. So as the title suggests, this chapter, this story gives us an exciting activities which a Toto experience. Now who is Toto? Toto is a baby monkey. He is a pet monkey who is at the house of this author, and this author through this story is narrating the different exciting adventures, different activities which the monkey used to do at his home. This story is written by Ruskin Bond. Now let's experience the exciting activities of this Toto through this story. Grandfather bought Toto from a Tonga driver for the sum of 5 rupees. The Tonga driver used to keep the little red monkey tied to a feeding trough, and the monkey looked so out of place there that grandfather decided he would add the little fellow to his private zoo. So the narrator, he says that his grandfather bought Toto. Toto is the name of monkey. So his grandfather bought that Toto, that monkey, from a Tonga driver, and he bought it for the amount of 5 rupees. He saw that monkey with that Tonga driver, and he used to tie that monkey at the feeding trough. Feeding trough is the place where animal is tied. It's an open area where animal is tied to have food. So he found monkey over there, and monkey is never seen tied at a place, and therefore it seems to him quite odd. To the author's grandfather it seems quite odd, and therefore he thought that he should buy it from that Tonga driver, and he decided to add it to his private zoo. So he owns a private zoo. He bought monkey whose name is Toto from Tonga driver at 5 rupees. Toto was pretty monkey. His bright eyes sparkled with mischief beneath deep set eyebrows, and his teeth, which were pearly white, were very often displayed in a smile that frightened the life out of elderly Anglo-Indian ladies. But his hands looked dried up as though they had been pickled in the sun for many years, yet his fingers were quick and wicked. And still, while adding to his good looks, grandfather believes a tail would add to anyone's good looks. Also served as a third hand, he could use it to hang from a branch, and it was capable of scooping up any delicacy that might be out of reach of his hand. So in this paragraph, this narrator has described the physique, he has described the appearance of that monkey. He was pretty monkey, he says, and he says that his eyes sparkled. Sparkle, it means shines brightly. So his eyes used to shine brightly with mischief within deep set eyebrows. So monkey is generally known for its mischievous activity only, and therefore he says that the eyes of that monkey reflected a deep mischievous activities, deep mischievous sense which it had. And he says that his teeth was purely white. It was white as pearl, and very often displayed a smile that frightened. And he says that many people used to get frightened. They were afraid when he displayed his teeth to those people. Again he says that his hand was dried up as if it had been pickled. It means he says that his hand was dried, and it seems that it has been dried up. It was left under the sun for many years. But his fingers were very quick and wicked, very mischievous. And then he says that his tails, which served as a third hand, his tail was third hand for him, and he used to hang himself upon the branches using his tail, and sometimes in order to catch something which is out of his reach, he used to take help of his tails. Grandmother always first when grandfather brought home some new bird or animal, but so it was decided that Toto's presence should be kept a secret from her until she was in a particularly good mood. Grandfather and I put him away in a little closet opening into my bedroom wall, where he was tied securely, or so we thought, to a peg fastened into the wall. So now it is said that this narrator's grandmother, she don't like perhaps pet animal. So whenever his grandfather used to bring any new animal to add to his private zoo, she gets annoyed and she get upset. And therefore it was decided that the presence of this Toto, this young inmate of the zoo of his grandfather, will be a secret to his grandmother until she is in a good mood. So it was decided that whenever she will be in a good mood, his grandfather will reveal it to his grandmother that he has bought a new animal for his private zoo, and that is Toto. And till then what it was done, grandfather and this narrator, he put that Toto in the closet. Closet is the drawer kept. Closet is the drawer for clothes, keeping clothes. So till then, in order to hide that Toto from his grandmother, he, the narrator, as well as his grandfather, what they did, they kept that Toto in the closet which was in the bedroom of this narrator. A few hours later, when grandfather and I came back to release Toto, we found that the walls, which had been covered with some ornamental paper chosen by grandfather, now stood out as naked brick and plaster. The peg in the wall has been wrenched from its socket, and my school brazier, which had been hanging there, was in shreds. I wondered what grandmother would say. But grandfather did not worry. He seemed pleased that with Toto's performance. So now what happened? As it is given in the previous paragraph, that grandfather and this narrator kept that monkey secretly in his closet, and there he tied it to the peg. Now what is peg? Peg is the short pin or bolt which is there on the wall, sometimes to hang something. So they have tied it to the peg and they have kept that monkey into the closet. So what happened after few hours, when they returned into that room to take out that monkey, that Toto, from the closet, what they found? They found that the wallpaper which was placed, which was there, the ornamental wallpaper which was there on the wall, was torn up, has been teared, and now the wall is naked. The brick and plaster was visible. The wallpaper which was there on that plaster on that wall has been torn up, and the peg, the nail which was there on that wall, has been wrenched. So now everything was distorted, nothing was in order, and the school blazer of this narrator, even that was torn, which was there hanging in the socket, in the peg, and so the whole room was now in topsy-turvy. The wallpaper which was there on the wall has been torn up. The blazer of this narrator was torn. It was hanging there. It was torn now. It was in shred. Shred, it means that is totally torn now. It is torn, and the room looked bizarre. It was totally in topsy and turvy condition. So this narrator, he was worried, he was afraid that now the grandmother will come to know about Toto in the house and she will definitely shout at them. But his grandfather, he was not worried at all. He was pleased. Why he was pleased? Because he was animal lover. He loved animal, and those activities those things which Toto has done is quite natural for a monkey to do, and therefore he was pleased, he was happy with his performance. His clever, said grandfather, given time I am sure he could have tied the torn pieces of your blazer into rope and made his escape from the window. So now the grandfather commented that the monkey, the Toto, was quite clever. He said what he has done, he has come out from the closet, and what he has done, he has made a rope out of the blazer which was hanging there, and with the help of the rope which he has made from the blazer of narrator, he was able to escape from that room. His presence in the house is still a secret. Toto was now transferred to a big cage in the servants' quarter where a number of grandfather's pets lived very sociably together, a tortoise, a pair of rabbit, a tame squirrel, and for a while my pet goat. But the monkey would not allow any of his companions to sleep at night, so grandfather, who had to leave Dehradun next day to collect his pension in Saharanpur, decided to take him along. So now they found that grandfather and the narrator found that the monkey can't be left in the home. They can't keep monkey in home because they have kept it in a place and they have seen the result of that, and therefore now they decided that it should be shifted somewhere out of the house. So first of all they thought about the place, the cage where other animals live in his servants' quarter, but again it came to their mind that that monkey will not allow any other animal which was living there in the servants' quarter, that is a tortoise, a pair of rabbit, a tame squirrel, and goat. So it came to their mind that he will not allow any of other inmates, other animals to sleep at night, and therefore his grandfather, he has to leave for the next day to Saharanpur to collect his pension, and therefore he decided that he will take that Toto along with him. Unfortunately, I could not accompany grandfather on that trip, but he told me about it afterward. A big black canvas kit bag was provided for Toto. This, with some straw at the bottom, became his new abode. When the bag was closed, there was no escape. Toto could not get his hand through the opening, and canvas was too strong for him to bite his way through. His effort to get out only had the effect of making the bag roll about on the floor or occasionally jump into the air, an exhibition that attracted a curious crowd of onlookers on the Dehradun railway platform. So now, as his grandfather has to leave for Saharanpur in order to collect his pension, and the narrator says that he was not able to accompany his grandfather on that trip, but when he returned back, he narrated the whole incident which has happened while his way to Saharanpur from Dehradun. So a special arrangement was made in order to take Toto with him. So what he did, he arranged a big black canvas kit bag, and in that bag what he did, at the bottom he kept some straw at the bottom, and that canvas kit bag became the new house of that monkey for a while. And that bag was quite strong, he could not bite it, and he can't even get out of that bag. So a special quality was being made specially for that Toto, because they knew that he is quite mischievous, he may come out of that bag, and therefore a quite strong material was used for it. So now the only thing is, but the monkey is after all a monkey, he is mischievous, he can't sit or be still in that bag, and therefore what happened, whenever it made movement, so it was like a exhibition for the onlookers, for the passenger who was there on the Dehradun platform, because everyone was thinking that what was there in the bag which was rolling due to the movement of Toto in the bag inside. So all the co-passengers, the passenger which was there on the Dehradun platform, they were looking at the bag which his grandfather carried, because occasionally or whenever he kept that bag on the floor, the monkey which was inside the bag, it started jumping, it started different activities, and due to which the bag was moving in a very strange manner, and it made people think or to look upon it that what was there in that bag. Toto remained in the bag as far as Saranpur. But while grandfather was producing his ticket at the railway turnstile, Toto suddenly poked his head out of the bag and gave the ticket collector a wide grin. So now it is being said that Toto, he was inside the bag throughout that journey. He kept inside only. He did not come out. He just made some movement, some strange movement, and due to which the bag looked strange. There was a strange movement inside the bag. So till he reached Saranpur, he did not come out. He did not even try to come out of the bag. But when his grandfather deboarded the train and when he was at the railway turnstile, then that monkey came out of that bag and he gave a wide grin. Wide grin, it means he gave a wide smile to the ticket collector, to whom the grandfather of narrator was showing ticket. So let's see what happened then. The poor man was taken aback, but with great presence of mind and much to grandfather's annoyance, he said, "Sir, you have a dog with you. You will have to pay for it accordingly." In vain did grandfather take Toto out of the bag. In vain did he try to prove that a monkey did not qualify as a dog or even as a quadruped. Toto was classified a dog by the ticket collector, and 3 rupees was the sum handed over as his fare. So his grandfather, he was showing his ticket to the ticket collector who was standing at the railway turnstile. So while he was showing his ticket, suddenly Toto came out of the bag, and the ticket collector was totally taken aback. It means he was surprised. He was afraid to see monkey, but he found it a dog, not a monkey. He was not able to identify that it is a monkey, it was a baby, and therefore he thought it to be a dog, and he said that you haven't bought ticket for this dog, and therefore you will have to pay extra fare for it. So finally it was decided that he will have to pay 3 rupees for that dog, which was actually a monkey. Then grandfather, just to get his own back, took from his pocket our pet tortoise and said, "What must I pay for this, since you charge for all animals?" So while he was discussing with ticket collector, and as ticket collector has fined him for carrying monkey to him, which was a dog, and therefore he has fined him of 3 rupees. He has charged him 3 rupees as a fine, and therefore at what grandfather did, he took a tortoise from one of his pocket, and then he said to that ticket collector, "As you charge for all the animals, then tell me what fine I will have to give for this tortoise." The ticket collector looked closely at the tortoise, prodded it with his forefinger, gave grandfather a pleased and triumphant look, and said, "No charge, it is not a dog." So when grandfather showed him that tortoise and asked him that how much I will have to pay for this tortoise, he looked at that tortoise, he prodded it, he played with it with his forefinger, and after that he said that no, it's not a dog, and therefore you will not have to pay anything for this tortoise. So the main thing was that only a dog was to be charged, and according to that, even that 3 rupees should not have been charged from his grandfather. But the thing is that ticket collector did not try to understand. He was not able to identify that that dog is not a dog, but it is a monkey. So he has identified, he has taken monkey as a dog and therefore has charged 3 rupees as a fine from his grandfather. When Toto was finally accepted by grandmother, he was given a comfortable home in the stable, where he had for a companion the family donkey Nana. On Toto's first night in the stable, grandfather paid him a visit to see if he was comfortable. To his surprise, he found Nana without apparent cause pulling at her halter and trying to keep her head as far as possible from the bundle of hay. So now it was revealed, now grandfather and the narrator has revealed it to his grandmother that he has brought a new monkey for his private Jew. And so when this was said, when this information was said to her, after that this monkey was given a fixed place, a comfortable home, a place to live, and that was he was given a space in a stable where another donkey was living whose name is Nana. So when he was there in the stable with Nana, so for the first time on the first night his grandfather thought that he should go and check that whether he is comfortable or not, because it was of his first night. So when he went there, he was surprised to see, and what he was surprised to see, that he saw that the Nana, that is that donkey, was trying to pull his head, he was trying to pull himself away from the hay. He was trying to pull himself away from the bundle of hay. So hay is the food which was kept there for Nana, but instead of eating it or instead of going closer to it, he was trying to pull himself away from there. So after that, what he saw, let's see that why this donkey was getting away from that hay which was kept over there, pulling at her halter. What is halter? Halter is the rope in which the animal is tied. So when he went there, he saw that the donkey was trying to pull his halter, it means the rope or strap which is used to tie the animal. So he was pulling his strap in which he is tied, and he was pulling himself as far as possible from the bundle of hay which was kept there for him as a food. Grandfather gave Nana a slap across his haunches and she jerked back, dragging Toto with her. He had fastened onto her long ears with his sharp little teeth. So when Nana went there, he was surprised to see that the donkey was pulling himself. The donkey was pulling himself. He was pulling his strap in which he was tied away from the bundle of straw of the hay which was kept over there. So he was surprised to see that, and therefore he gave a slap to that donkey which was there, and therefore with a jerk what he did, he moved backward, and when he moved backward, what he saw, then his grandfather saw that the monkey has got hold, he has tightly caught the teeth, he has tightly caught the long ears of that donkey with his teeth. So this is why that donkey was trying to pull himself away from that bundle of hay, or he was pulling his halter, his strap away from that point, because that donkey has got hold of his ears with his teeth. So he was biting his ear with his teeth. Toto and Nana never became friends. So it is being said he was so mischievous that these two animals, that is Toto and Nana, the donkey and this monkey, was never able to become a friend. A great treat for Toto during cold winter evening was the large bowl of warm water given him by grandmother for his bath. He would cunningly test the temperature with his hand, then gradually step into the bath, first one foot, then the other, as he had seen me doing, until he was into the water up to his neck. Once comfortable, he would take the soap in his hand or feet and rub himself all over. When the water became cold, he would get out and run as quickly as he could to the kitchen fire in order to dry himself. And if anyone laughed at him during this performance, Toto's feeling would be hurt and he would refuse to go. He would refuse to go on with his bath. One day, Toto nearly succeeded in boiling himself alive. So now, one of his activities which he used to do all the time during winter season is being described here, that what he used to do whenever he was given warm water by his grandmother to bath, then what he used to do, he used to copy the narrator, as narrator used to take bath with warm water during winter season. Similarly, even he used to do, he used to place one of his foot in the container, and after that, if he senses that the temperature is okay, if it can be tolerated, then he used to place his another foot into that container, and then he used to sit in that container and then he used to rub soap throughout his body, and he used to remain in that container only till the time he find the water warm and till the time he feel comfortable over there. And when the water gets cold, he used to come out from there and he used to run to the kitchen, so in order to dry himself, as it was cold and there was water, he has recently taken bath, and therefore as soon as he used to come out of that container, he used to run to the kitchen fire in order to dry himself. And if anyone laughed at him while he used to bath, then he feel hurt and he would used to refuse to go to bath. So one day, due to his mischievous act, he was nearly half boiled. So let's see how he got half boiled. A large kitchen kettle had been left on the fire to boil for tea, and Toto, find himself with nothing better to do, decided to remove the lid. Finding the water just warm enough for a bath, he got in. With his head sticking out from the open kettle, he was just fine for a while. Until the water began to boil, Toto then raised himself a little, but finding it cold outside, sat down again. It continued hopping up and down for some time until grandmother arrived and hauled him half boiled out of the kettle. So one day what happened? What was there? His grandmother, the grandmother of narrator, she has left a kettle, a large kitchen kettle was there left on the fire to boil. So water was kept in the kettle and it was left on the fire to boil. So what happened? Toto, he found nothing for himself to do. So he went into the kitchen, and what he did, he removed the lid of that kettle which was there on the fire, and after that he found the water warm enough, and he get recalled of his bathing. He thought that the water is for his bathing only, and he found the water warm for bathing, and therefore what he did, he stepped inside that kettle, and the fire was already on. It was already on flame, and therefore what happened, he stepped inside that kettle and he remained there only. He sat into that kettle, and till the water was not warm enough, it was good, it had not harmed him. So after some time, what happened, when water starts boiling, it starts hurting him. He felt warm over there in that kettle, and therefore he tried to come outside. So once when he come outside, he started feeling cold, and therefore again he sat inside. So again he tried to come out of that kettle. Again he felt cold outside there, and therefore again he went inside the kettle. So this process continued for few minutes until her grandmother came and she saw that the monkey was there sitting in the kettle, and then she took the monkey out of that kettle, and this is how he was left half boiled in that kettle. If there is a part of brain especially devoted to mischief, that part was largely developed in Toto. He was always tearing things in two pieces. Whenever one of my aunts came near him, he made every effort to get hold of her dress and tear a hole in it. So now the narrator says that this Toto, he was very much mischievous and his brain was well developed for doing mischievous activities only, and it is being said that always he was looking for a chance to get something to tear it into pieces. And then he says that one of his aunt, whenever she used to come, he tried his best to get hold of her dress and then he used to hole in her dress. One day at lunchtime, a large dish of pulao stood in the center of the dining table. We entered the room to find Toto stuffing himself with rice. My grandmother screamed and Toto threw a plate at her. One of my aunts rushed forward and received a glass of water in her face. When grandfather arrived, Toto picked up the dish of plough and made his exit through a window. We found him in the branches of jackfruit tree, the dish still in his arm. He remained there all afternoon, eating slowly through the rice, determined on finishing every grain. And then, in order to spite grandmother, he would scream at him. Who would scream at him? He threw the dish down from the tree and chattered with delight when it broke into 100 pieces. So another incident, another mischievous act of Toto is being described in this paragraph. It is being said that it was lunchtime and a large dish was placed on the dining table full with plough. So when they went into the home, when narrator and other members of his family went inside the dining table to have lunch, what they saw that Toto was sitting on the dining table and he was enjoying that pulao. And when grandmother shouted at Toto, at monkey, then what he did, he threw a plate upon her to hurt her. And when the aunt of narrator again rushed forward that Toto, then what he did, he threw a glass full of water in her face. And then when grandfather arrived, what he did, he picked that dish which was full of plough and he left the room through the window. He get out of the room through the window and he scaled one of the tree which was there in his campus, which is a jackfruit tree. He scaled on that tree and after that he remained there all afternoon on that tree and he enjoyed that plough and he finished each and every grain which was there in that bowl. And then, in order to spite grandmother who had screamed at him, he threw the dish down from the tree and chattered with delight when it broke into 100 pieces. And then after that, what he did, in order to hurt grandmother, as she had screamed at him, as she had scolded him when he was sitting on the dining table eating plough. So in order to hurt her, what he did, he threw that dish which was in his hand in which plough was kept, he threw it from that tree, and when it came down and when it broke into 100 pieces, he started chattering with delight. He grew happy when that dish which he threw from the tree broke into 100 pieces. Obviously, Toto was not the sort of pet we could keep for long. Even grandfather realized that we are not well-to-do and could not afford the frequent loss of dishes, clothes, curtain and wallpaper. So grandfather found the chonga driver and sold Toto back to him for only 3 rupees. So finally, the grandfather of the narrator realized that monkey is not a sort of pet animal. They can't afford to keep that monkey in their house because it has brought a number of and a numerous and a continuous loss to them. Time and again he used to tear things, he used to break dishes, he used to tear clothes, he used to tear curtains, wallpapers and various other things, and therefore he says that we were not so much rich that we can afford all those loss which we had to suffer due to that monkey, and therefore finally his grandfather realized that Toto is not an animal fit for pet animal. A Toto that is monkey is not fit to be kept as a pet animal in the house, and therefore what he did, he looked for that Tonga driver from whom he has bought that Toto at 5 rupees. So what he did, he found that Tonga driver and again he sold that Toto back to him again only at 3 rupees. So he sold it at the loss of 2 rupees because he had to suffer a various loss. He had to suffer loss every day because of that monkey, and therefore he decided finally to part away with that monkey even at the cost of 2 rupees, even at the cost of loss which he has to suffer. So this is all about this story. We saw that how the monkey was bought by the grandfather of narrator, and due to his continuous mischievous activities they had to suffer a numerous loss, and due to which finally it was decided that it should not be kept any longer in a home as a pet animal, and therefore it was again sold back to the Tonga driver from whom he has bought that Toto earlier. This is all about this story. Thank you.